Feeling overwhelmed, overstressed, or just plain overstimulated? Let's spend a few minutes together looking at some useful tools to bring back the joy. Harmony is within reach. I'll let you in on the secret that changed my life forever. Success comes from fulfillment, not the other way around. When we move through the world fully aligned with purpose, peace, and passion, we attract all that we dream of. That is balance. And when we're aligned and in balance, we don't suffer burnout. Sure, we can choose to grind it out. We can strive and struggle and crawl through broken glass to get what we want. But lasting high performance doesn't come from struggle. It comes from alignment. And our highest performance comes from joy. Think about the last time you were joyful or engaged in a project. Did you lose track of time? Maybe you even lost track of where you were. I bet your progress, your results, were pretty darn good. We can have a great time, a ton of fun, and achieve our highest potential. If things get too serious, we'll be out of balance. And if we're out of balance, we will face burnout. If we don't find fulfillment along the way, it'll be practically impossible to make the progress we want over the long term. I find more fulfillment simply by adding a little levity and fun in my day-to-day experience. Let me give you 3 quick examples of how applying a bit more fun, looking for the easier and more enjoyable way, actually brings me much better high-performance results and helps prevent burnout. In my journey to build a stronger, more energetic body, I've been engaged in a raw veggies versus sour cream and onion chips war for a long time. But raw veggies or sour cream and onion chips is a false dilemma. Now I insist on healthy food that tastes so good I would rather eat it. This nutrition plan is a whole lot more sustainable than a raw veggies plan. There are no extra points for making yourself miserable along the way. And for me, raw veggies are pretty miserable. And I found workouts too that work for me. Running is a great workout for some. Running makes me miserable. I won't even run when I'm being chased by very scary people. But I love to ride my horse and work out with weights at home. Now I'm finally achieving my health and wellness goals by eating stuff that is delicious, and I'm loving my workouts. Sure, they're tough, but they're built around what I enjoy doing. And that means much more consistency and better progress. I'm having more fun, which brings better balance and prevents burnout in my fitness journey. Another example, I hate class. I don't enjoy school. I loathe sitting and watching a teacher lecture in a classroom setting. You know what I love? Listening to people tell stories, watching YouTube. I learn so much in this way, and it's fun. We live in such an amazing time. We can literally learn anything by watching movies. I never burn out from learning on YouTube, so I found what works for me. One more example. When I'm not chosen as the listing agent, I'm smart enough to ask, why not? It's always important to do a thorough debrief and learn what we can do better. But you know what's more fun and even more valuable? Asking why I was chosen when I do win the listing. When I get positive feedback from clients, when I win in a competitive situation and I ask why and focus on that, it is so much more fun. So sure, I still get tired of listing appointments, but now that I focus on why I win instead of why I lose, I don't get so burned out. I know, we're constantly taught to fall forward, to push harder, to nail down the win, to go to battle for what we want, and to fight for our dreams. You can do that. I just think there's a better way. A less painful way. All that battle talk is nonsense. All that talk about grinding it out is simply too much. No wonder we burn out. It's not necessary, and in fact, I argue it's counterproductive. Instead of hunting our goals, how about aligning with them and allowing our successes to come to us? This happens when we focus on who we must become to attract what we want. When we sit by the river of life and find fulfillment with what floats by, we leave ourselves open to the best possibilities. Like I said earlier, there are no extra points for making yourself miserable. And I've noticed that when I'm miserable for too long, I get, you guessed it, burned out. Now, I find new ways. Now, I approach old problems by asking myself better questions. I seek a more joyful way to work. Here are 10 of my favorite questions. Try them out next time you have a tough assignment. Number 1, what's a more exciting way to learn what I need to? For me, this means, is there an engaging instructor with awesome stories that I can learn from? As I said earlier, is there a documentary, a YouTube channel I can watch? Is there a real world trip I could tie to what I need to learn? Number 2, what can I do to make this more fun? As I've been writing my book, I write each chapter with a different theme music. So some chapters are jazz, some are electronic dance music. Sometimes I'll put on the epic movie theme music for dramatic chapters. It makes it so much more fun. I even have theme music for preparing CMAs, for writing contracts. Number 3, who would I enjoy bringing along on this journey? Is there a friend that would make this work more fun? For example, I'll invite a friend along to go check out new home communities, and then we'll grab lunch after. Now the drive and the tour feel much less like a chore. Number 4, what's the humor in this? Can I take myself and my progress a little less seriously? What's funny about this path I'm on? When I lighten up and I laugh more, I usually step up to the next level. 5, what would be an easier way to do this? I quit tracking my sales numbers so often and judging myself so harshly. Now I simply focus on adding value for people I genuinely like and care about. Much easier. And my business has soared. 6, if I were more lazy, how would I approach this? Yeah, really. It's a fun question. Have you ever noticed that lazy people come up with the best innovations? You know why? Because they want to find a way that requires less effort. 7, how can I gamify this for myself? I like to make a game of my workouts. When I think about hitting a new high score, instead of worrying about just increasing weights, it's so much more fun. 8, what brings me joy? How do I do more of that? 9, what location could add more fun to this work? I like to work in a different office once a week, just for a fresh scene. 10, if I could find a more lighthearted approach, what would that be? Then, just don't forget balance along the way. Balance is the key to burnout prevention. Anytime I mention balance, I have to make a quick note. Balance is a moving target. Balance is not perfectly even, sleep, work, play. Depending on the season of our life and the current reality of our life, we may require much more focus or attention in one area or the other. Sometimes we need to be super unbalanced to restore balance. For instance, when I was in early recovery from addiction, there was no balance. There was an intentional, focused effort to make sure that I did one thing and one thing only. Don't use substances no matter what. That was all. Everything else didn't matter. Family, career, happiness, it didn't matter. It doesn't matter if you die from addiction. Or when we start a new real estate career or look to increase our production, we may need to choose imbalance to overcome inertia. As we reach for a new goal, we may need to set aside certain activities and we may need to push extra hard to gain that momentum. Then as we find our groove, we can seek more balance. Once we have, for instance, a dependable deal flow, we can seek to round our lives out again. Think of standing. We are never truly in balance. We are constantly shifting in a micro way to bring ourselves back to balance. Remember the balance equation I shared in our workshop in Atlanta? I love using this simple framework to check where I am in balance and where I'm out of balance. I like to focus on purpose, peace, and passion in those 6 areas of life. Because I believe that when I have purpose, peace, and passion in all 6 areas of my life, I have success. So I look at mind, money, mission, body, relationships, and spirit. And if you want to know a little bit more about how I approach those and rate those every single week, let me know, reach out to me, and I'll share a little bit more detail. Here's the thing. Monumental progress doesn't have to be painful. Sure, sometimes life hurts, but pain doesn't equal progress. In fact, it often causes burnout. No pain, no gain isn't the only way. We can grow. We can get the best gains in the sunshine, with friends, with brilliant music and delicious food. Darkness isn't our only teacher. Let this be your time to come back to life better than ever. Go, have fun, and reach your dreams along the way. Bye-bye, burnout.